Alright, before the video, I want to say Merry Christmas, even though it looks like a wet one for me. But anyways, hello everyone, and welcome back to another welcome to GPReed's Theory. There has been kind of little to do this week. There's actually a few little updates, but this video, I finally will fulfill my promise to explain what's going on with GPReed. I'll explain the connections towards him with Dad, Pokemon, and of course the moon, as apparently there's a lot. Before we get started, I want to show you guys this. First off, if you remember Naomi Papa, you may have noticed there's another one here. Now, I don't know if this is the same, but apparently she has also taken a look at my video, which I have it right here. And I kind of comment, okay. But yeah, this ain't the first time this has happened. You guys recall this happened to me before. And let me see if I can go to my profile and see the other comments here. But yeah, well, 2. Somebody got an eye for me. Well, 2. Okay, yeah, that's very hilarious. But yeah, pretty much there's been a lot going on. And apparently it looks like Rabbit has just confirmed which side she's on, being that she's on Naomi's side, which we already knew this. But yeah, it looks like Naomi is finally catching on that I'm doing work on her. And who knows how that will take place. The second thing, which you guys can see my hint of this video, is earlier this week. So earlier I got actually chance to talk to these two, which are actually pretty cool people. You guys should check them out. And of course a lot of other things. It looks like I missed a lot of this, but here's what I didn't miss. So where is it? I know he talked about this. Wait. I'm trying to look for it. I think it was in the general text. Oh boy, everyone was watching that, of course. Yeah, I actually watched that video, by the way. It was okay, but not much. Hold on, let me pause this so I don't waste any more video data. Alright, there we go, and we'll get to that in a bit, but apparently it looks like he was actually talking about the moon. And if I could call, here it is. What do you mean by explode the moon? And he was, talking about it and blah, blah. And he was actually saying increase traffic or something like, there you go, right path. Now, I don't know what he wants to do with the moon, but this actually confirms things. And we'll get to this later. I posted this and I'll explain why I have that video right there. But yeah, apparently he wants to do something to the moon, and this goes back to what he said before with the people, blah, blah. And there's a lot of other stuff they've been posting, such as, all this, which could be something major, who knows. Like, that's not even in my area since I wasn't there. But today, I want to actually talk about the connections between 4 things that I connected to GPReeds. Now, before I continue, I want to point out that this is just really a theory. This is just my theory. I know good and well that GPReed is not connected to any of this. I mean, heck, people even correct me on the last video in the Discord that GPReed wasn't connecting to a certain person, but we'll get into that in a bit. But it's no much suspicious, nonetheless, and it kind of does help explain what might be going on. Not to mention, I realized a few things, so let's go ahead and get that started. So first off, I want to talk about his connection with that. And before we continue, by the way, for those nitwits out there, because I know there's going to be a nitwit sooner or later, note that this is not a video attacking Dad again. I actually am going to stop attacking Dad because at this point, I don't want to hear that. I don't really, care much anymore. But anyways, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at a few surprisingly connected things that GPReed has done in the past. Now, he has talked about Dad before. And of course, he done his video theories on Dad. And apparently, he actually have made a few connections that are very interesting. So yeah, pretty much Grant Reed's has been interesting with Dad. Now, of course, again, these are all just probably parodies, and even the video I just showed, whereas who he's been has been a coincidence. However, if that's the case, then why GPReed is so attached to Dad? Well, let's continue on that one video I just showed recently with him dancing. Now, of course, this video I have shown multiple times already, but pretty much we all seen this part of the video. Sneaking in. Let's begin. Secret found. Don't make a sound. She's listening. Everyone. Everywhere. Can't see me. Person found. Scary sound. It's nothing. Those fake tree limbs. Grant wants you ignoring him. Out. Creep. Exploring. Grant sees everything. Break it down. Break it in. The front's up. Now, a lot of people have been questioning what, including myself, have been questioning what on earth could that creepy, creepy grassy monster could be. Well, I just now realized with the connection with Dad, I think I know who it might be. And we all met him already, especially Mikey Logo. Let me show you who could he be. Stop harassing my family. That's right, it's the father. And believe it or not, the father himself has his own Instagram and everything. Let me try to pull it up and show you. And this might be the father right here, due to how he looks. And what's interesting to note, not only because, he's connected, but here's something known as Get Well Soon. Now, if you guys recall, Naomi is known for accidentally, getting a surgery that should have not happened, because if it did, then it really messed her brain up and pretty much, made her, cuckoo crazy at this point. And it's not, Now, it's not very much known why this happened, but one thing for sure, since then she has developed a split personality disorder with all the colors. And there could be a reason. And this, by the way, if we're doing it correctly, could be his father. That would explain why he did the dad parody video. Not only because, he likes dad, but also as a symbolism that the fact that his father must have definitely have something to do with the role. The reason why the family possibly hates spiders is because the only person in the family who loves spiders was father. And pretty much a lot of things have been pointed out. The father never truly cared for Naomi or, possibly GPReed, which means that Naomi could be either the mother or the sister of GPReed, and that would explain why the connection so much. In fact, it's possible that GPReed loved Dad so much is because Dad is seen in the videos, even though we all know that he's not. Dadfeels seems like the perfect father he possibly wants. Now, for those of you who didn't know that was Mikey with Stephanie, our next target. Now, I kind of made this video earlier, and he made 2 videos based on this because my last video was interesting enough. But for those who do not know, Stephanie Lawson was a person who was interesting enough, was part of another ARG kind of cult like thing, who funny enough even have her own Wikipedia. And pretty much I won't go too far into it. I'll just say that, long story short, she pretty much went through a lot of weirdness, and it was like a cult like thing. So why am I making this now? Well, the reason why is because if you guys recall, and I'm trying to pull this up now. Okay, here's the actual picture. Let me see. I think it wasn't here. It was the other girl's picture. It's not Randall. Because it was Papa. Papa had a photo of her in her Instagram, and apparently Papa seems to have deleted it. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and try to search for her Instagram once more time and see what's going on. Here we go. So she has 2 accounts. That's interesting. That's pretty much, and there's that blood cult thing. Ooh, boy. Yeah. So let me just scroll down quickly. Why does that look like freaking? Oh, that's definitely not. I thought that was Ruby from Ruby. Remember that? Ooh, where is this? Oh, here it is. Yeah. So yeah, she had a picture of her. Now again, obviously, GPReed have confirmed this is not truly connected to the story, but it makes sense as a funny Easter egg by accident to add her in, because funny enough, as already stated in the last video, Stephanie and of course Naomi are kind of similar. Both people smile a lot and want to make people happy in a very cult-like manner. And there's no lie that this, I really don't know what to say about all this. This is definitely a weird scenario. But, it was probably an accidental Easter egg that, they did it meant to happen. But it's still pretty nice. And I like how Mikey Lego kind of make reference to this. And he did confirm by penning my comment. And, Naomi here is asking if it was really her. Yeah, but pretty much if you guys want to learn more about her, you guys can go find the video. Let me make sure I cancel that before you guys hear that. But yeah, she has also her own Wikipedia page, so go look it up. And not Wikipedia, but her own Wikipedia website, like the Wikipedia's, yes. But yeah. Anyways, our next target is very interesting, as we'll be discussing, of course, possibly, my most interesting topic, Pokemon. Obviously, we all know I'm a big, huge fan of Pokemon. I am probably one of the kings of Pokemon, except for playing, because obviously I'm not the expert of freaking whatever you call those points. I don't know. Those people are magic between those points. However, recently, of course, GPReed, who seemed to be also a big Pokemon fan, which I won't blame him because Pokemon is awesome, had did a video about trying to figure out Pokemon's true origins. And I would say it's a pretty good video. I had my brother react to it. He, on the other hand, saw it sucks, which I just totally disagree. I actually have a full reaction. I'll probably link that in the description down below as well. But here's what the final conclusion he was talking about.
Beings could have been what was being referred to as Arceus's 1,000 arms, not only due to the design, but also due to the fact that this ancient being was encased in an undying egg, hibernating and waiting to be awakened for untold amounts of time, devour all energy and light, and therefore seeks to devour the stars. Solgaleo, the son of Pokemon form, for example. The lower storage capacity in Necrozma is likely due to the entropy that all ancient Pokemon face. Look at the primal reversions of Groudon and Kyogre, for instance. The power lost is incredible. If Necrozma is also an ancient Pokemon, the loss is likely similarly present. Most Pokemon pass their limits in Mega Evolution, the possible cause of ultra space wormholes. My theory is, when these wormholes formed, that some of the genetically modified animals were sent back to the past, where they were allowed to breed with irregular animals and slowly become the dominant species through natural selection. Mew could still be an ancestor of life, but its descendants would be a combination of multiple universe timelines, causing the distortions and the power surges. Whatever the case, humans from that time likely would have came through as well. Thus, Pokeballs in ancient times.
So yeah, he talks a lot about Pokemon. It's a pretty good video, but long story short, what's very interesting is he mentions a lot about Solgaleo, Necrozma, and he doesn't mention, of course, Nudala, but of course, he does talk about the Ultra Space and all that. Now, first of all and foremost, it has been jokingly confirmed that Ultra Beasts and the Ultra Wormholes are different timelines and different dimensions. I mean, the Ultra Ruins, let's be fair, is a rewind of the freaking... I forgot the two towns, but it's pretty much a busted up apocalyptic future of Alola, for Christ's sake. That's actually just being honest. And I'll probably do a theory video on why it happened and why Pokemon put it in. But to make a long story short, he talks about a lot about Pokemon, and mainly, of course, about Necrozma, Nudala, the Light Trio, and apparently, of course, the Pokemon he was talking about that could be part of Arceus is Enturius. What's interesting about those three is, funny enough, it kind of does somewhat match up to his point of power. These four are responsible, or technically Necrozma and Enturius are responsible for causing the Z crystals and, of course, Dynamaxing. Now, Enturius makes much more sense, as they did explain in the games, that Enturius, the wish stars were actually a part of Enturius, and of course, the whole egg he was mentioning was actually just the force field of Chairman Rose trying to harness everything. I actually really don't know if it was an egg or not, so shoot me down. And as for Necrozma, it is confirmed and somewhat theorized that the Z crystals are actually a part of Necrozma and possibly was the parts that Ultra Recon Squad foolishly took away, their people. So this begs up the question, what is the connection to what PG reads and the moon, and also why this also connects to that of Pokemon? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. Before even Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was released, there was a video that was released by Game Explain that theorized before, the actual theory of what Pokemon could be Sun and Moon could be based off, and it actually did shed some light on what could be what's going on here.
Possibly be the basis of Pokemon Sun and Moon's story. But first, we need to establish some background information, specifically around Project Azoth, which, although it wasn't known by that name until Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, had its origin in X and Y. It's there that we met AZ, the king that used the ultimate weapon to end the Pokemon War 3,000 years ago by destroying both sides as well as resurrect his beloved lost Floette. However, because the weapon was powered by Pokemon Life Energy, later called Infinity Energy, Floette abandoned AZ. He was left to wander the world alone, unable to die as the weapon had granted both him and Floette eternal life. By the end of X and Y, the protagonist prevented Team Flare from using the ultimate weapon again to destroy all life on the planet. This eventually resulted in the revelation of Project Azoth in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire's episode Delta Epilogue, with its stated goal being to return everything to the beginning. But the ultimate weapon caused more than just AZ's immortality. The after effects irradiated special stones, creating what is now known as Megastones. The Devon Corporation and Hoenn eventually heard about this energy and developed it into Infinity Energy for the betterment of both man and Pokemon. But Infinity Energy still uses the life force of Pokemon. In contrast, primal reversion is achieved by either Groudon or Kyogre absorbing natural energy into their body. The outcome of primal reversion in Mega Evolution is the same. The Pokemon achieves a temporary form to become more powerful, but the difference lies in the source of the required energy. While the possible dangers of natural energy is never addressed in the games, the effect of Pokemon Life Energy is felt during episode Delta of the third generation remakes. The word Azoth is something that actually exists in the real world. It is considered a universal medicine or universal solvent in alchemy, which is basically the medieval version of chemistry. Its symbol was the caduceus, a common medical symbol and often associated with the Greek god Hermes. Eventually, this association led to Azoth becoming a poetic word for Mercury, the Roman name for Hermes. But here's where it gets interesting. Azoth is the essential agent of transformation in alchemy, and by extension, the element Mercury is the animating spirit, or in Pokemon terms, natural energy, hidden in all matter that makes transmutation possible. So, beyond the natural energy, what's this have to do with Pokemon? Well, as we stated, Pokemon Life Energy was used to end the war, but it had the side effect of creating Megastones. And what do Megastones do? Yep, they cause transformations, albeit temporary ones. Referring to this event with a project named Azoth is meant to reference these changes, since Azoth is literally a key component in Mega Evolution, just as it is in alchemic transformation. But it goes one step further in X, and this may connect to the new legendary Pokemon, Solgaleo and Lunala, as well. After all, Paul's excerpt mentions how Shamayim divided to become Solar Fire and Lunar Water. Is it really possible that Shaman's role may be expanded to fit these stories? We're not sure, but the Azoth and alchemical connections to Pokemon don't end there. Eliphas Levi wrote in his book, Transcendental Magic, that, quote, the Azoth or universal medicine is, for the soul, supreme reason and absolute justice. This seems to relate to the events told in X and Y, where the life energy, or souls, of Pokemon were used to delve out absolute justice on both sides of the war. Levi then continues, for the mind it is mathematical and practical truth. What if this line relates to the events of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where the Devon Corporation uses Pokemon Life Energy for practical purposes, expanding the mind? Levi goes on to write, for the body it is the quintessence, which is a combination of gold and light. Is it possible that this line could tie into Sun and Moon storyline? But then Levi's excerpt states something fascinating. In the superior or spiritual world, it is the first matter of the great work, to penetrate the atmosphere. This makes the connection to Lunala, the moon emissary that prevents light, all the clearer. Returning to alchemy, Kalos Pokemon points out that there are 7 classical planets, though the Sun and Moon are included in those 7. Each relates to the metals of the classical world, and from here, we can see some of the other possible inspirations behind Solgaleo and Lunala. The sun in different cultures was represented by the heart, soul, kings, gold, and the astrological sign Leo. So, as Kalos Pokemon researched, harmonic convergence is the name given to one of the world's first globally synchronized meditation events, which occurred on August 16th and 17th in 1987. This also closely coincided with an exceptional alignment of planets in the solar system. Considering that there was speculation on Reddit that an eclipse would play a role in the games, and that it's a type of syzygy, or a straight-line configuration of three or more celestial bodies, a harmonic convergence seems to tie into a potential plot. Harmonic convergence involves cycles of 52 years, which were split between so-called heaven and hell cycles. The hell cycles ended at the harmonic convergence and was said to begin a new cycle of peace in which the evils of the modern world would end. The evil team may be believers of harmonic convergence and could be planning to do something with Solgaleo and Lunala at the exact point when the planets align in order to bring an end to what they perceive as the current cycle of evil and begin anew with their vision of peace.
So this leads us back to, again, what does this have to do with anything? Well, this actually reveals a major lot. And by the way, I'll send the link down in the description down below if you guys want to watch the full video. It's a fascinating video, even though it doesn't later on match with the games. But it matches up with GPReed's things, and yeah, it gets very dark and big. So, to make the long story short, because of that, it seems like GPReed's what he wants from the moon is actually alchemic medicine. He wants to save Nunami from the disaster that is in, which explains literally everything when you think about it. His father tried to use different medicines that didn't work and pretty much does surgery on her. Or someone else. We don't know who did the surgery yet. And of course, GPReed's wants to save his sister or mother or whoever the girl is, who Nanami is. He wants the energy. This would explain also why his first Pokemon video was focused on that. The Ultra Beasts were filled with energy, light energy from the Z crystals. Eternius and any Dynamax Pokemon were filled with the energy of the star pieces. And remember that he did mention, as you guys saw through the sloppy editing I'm doing, he did mention, of course, the cannon, which was filled with Pokemon Soul energy. He's pretty much trying to use alchemy to bring back Naomi back to a real-life person. The question is, however, how far will he go? This would explain why he wants to get the power from the moon. That might be what he mean by blow up the moon. Not literally put a stick of dynamite and blow it up, which is literally impossible unless you have a laser like frickin' Eggman. You have to literally... He wants the energy from the moon. On the other hand, this also explains what might be what both Naomi and the other cult might be after. They might be actually after for that alignment and wants to press the reset button on everything. Which I would blame them because right now our whole world is going down to hell at this point. I'm not even going to jokingly lie here. That's just being hilariously honest. But it makes a lot of sense. Now the question is this theory holds water? Personally, I don't know, but it makes some sense why he talks about power and talks about, and why Naomi is crazy. Again, this is all, even this last one sounds like cuckoo for Cuckooville. But it does make some lot of sense that if GPReed's might be using alchemistry in his videos. I mean, after all, he does have connections to Phoenix because he mentioned it, and as you guys may know this through his hash marks in his videos, he actually does have a phoenix in his videos. So who knows what it else. Now, I'm not a true expert in of alchemic. I mean, which even makes things even more hilarious because I keep calling myself a witch because of reasons. So I'll leave that to the actual theorists on Discord and, all that. But, and again, I want to make this clear. These are just threads that and they're probably even more coincidence just waiting to happen. But to be fair, these coincidences does add up to his story. And while there might have been accidental coincidence, it makes more fun because it does help, explain. After all, the fact that the fact that these things happen, it kind of gives a build story. But at this point, I don't even know how the story is going to end this thing. All I know is the story so far is GPReed's needs to figure out how to stop his sister slash mother or whoever Naomi is. At the same time, also see to try to find her help and deal with his past at the same time. Deal with a cult that breaks into his house, which was possibly Naomi's cult. Deal with another cult who's killed chickens and because they want alignment or something. And of course have to deal with a creepy man, possibly who might be his father. And then we get into all the people who are involved, like a freaking Mikey clone and all that. But still, this has been literally the greatest. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. You guys can put your own theories down in the description. But for now, dang, there's a lot to go by. But still, this has been, Floxcat, and I'll leave the theories up to you guys. I'm snapping out here. Bye.